The rough sketch on how to assemble a pulley bracket, where we dig deep into understanding each component to be assembled, how they will be assembled, visualizing the unassembled block, and a lot more was explained in this part of the series. So if you haven't watched that, do well to click on the link in the description box to access the video. So what is in the focus in this second part of the series? We have to move to the top left corner of the drawing paper. So we are drawing in full size in first angle orthographic projection. Take note, the sectional front elevation one plane P2P in this video. So this instruction here was well explained in the previous video. So if you've not watched that, do well to check the link to the video in the description box down below, where you will get in full detail how to do the sketch. So we are going to, first of all, before we dive deep into drawing the front elevation, before we just start drawing, what we always do, like, as usual, is to understand each dimensions of this block, because not all dimensions are known. Like in this part, we have 2.6 here, we do not have anything here, and we have 2.6. So how will this be derived? Also here, how will the total length of here to here be derived? So these kind of things will be determined first before we dive into drawing, so that you have an idea of what you're doing. Now we're having a center line here. What is the use of the center line? The center line helps us to get the length of this other part and also these other components that will be inserted into this block. Like this bush, to get the total length, that's when it's inserted. Also this bolt and this pulley. So the center line here helps us to determine that. So it's after we've drawn the whole block, that is when we'll be able to determine all these parts and how to assemble them inside this block. So take note, we are drawing the sectional front elevation. So now where is a view of the front elevation? Because take note, the block has to be sectioned, and the section line is drawn on the top or the plan elevation of the block. So now using this section line, when you do section this part into two, now which of the views are you going to use to draw the front elevation? Is it going to be the left or the right? Now take note that the arrow is pointing towards where? The right. So it's going to be this right part that we are using to draw the front elevation of the block. So once we section this block, when we divide it into two, this left part is not useful. It's going to be the side. So we are looking towards the right. That surface, which is the right, is what we are using to draw. All right. I'll also take you through that process. I'll also show you through the process in the video. So just watch to the very end. So what will happen is we are going to first draw this block, that's this front elevation of this block. So it's after we've drawn that, then we also, okay, while drawing that, then we'll determine the unknown parts of this block, how to get them. So through the video, we'll be determining each part. Wherever we get to, we'll determine that. And also, after drawing this part, that is when we'll start assembling each component into the block. All right. So now let's go straight to drawing. We're having the total length of the baseline to be 108, 10.8 cm. That's from here to here is 10.8. But the line does not run through. It has a demarcation here, a cut. It enters inside at 2.6 from the start. So at 2.6, we draw the cut. So now from this bottom to where this top line, where it diverts to, is 0.3 cm. That's the length. So 0.3 cm. So when we stop here, we mark 0.3, also mark 0.3 up. Then when we mark 0.3, we also mark it here. So at that line where we mark 0.3, that's where we draw the curve to touch this top at 2.6 cm. So let's do that. From the 1 cm mark, which is here, draw 10.8 cm. So we'll mark 2.6 to the left here, which is this, and also mark 2.6 here. Good. So we extend the line up by 1.5 cm here, then we join the line. So here now we'll mark 0.3 up. At this part, we'll mark 0.3. We'll mark to the right here. Good. So after marking here, do same thing here. So this is where we draw our line. They will draw our curve using a French curve. So carefully we'll do so. So we'll draw the curve using the French curve. Good. So this is the curve. So this bottom line here will not be useful because it's not indicated in the block. So what's next? We now draw the arms. These arms here. So from this bottom of the arm, take note there's a curve here to also indicate that we keep 0.3, 0.3, draw the straight line, then the curves will come. So we'll come to that. So from the curve here to the center line, which is drawn here, is not known. So how do we determine that? So here from this base to this center line is giving us 5 centimeter. So once we draw the base, the from the base to the center line, once we draw the 5 cm, now after drawing from that part 5 cm, so from this 5 cm line, that's from this base now, we draw it downwards. That's where we get the arm. So after marking our 5 cm here, my 5 cm, we draw the center line. So from the center line now, we draw this part downwards. That will mark 2.1 cm. Draw it here. So let's do that. Good. So this is the center line now. So now how do we get this part? So from the top, the edge to the arm is 2.1 cm in length. So then we draw from that 2.1 mark, we draw the arm here. So after drawing the arm, also the width of the arm is 1 cm. So we draw for here and also draw for here. So mark 2.1 here. This is 2.1, and from here this is 2.1 here. Take note of that. So mark 1 cm, 1 cm. This is 1 cm here, and this is 1 cm. So let's draw the arm. Good. So we've drawn for the arms. Then to get the curve for the arm, we just use 0.3, and whatever curve you are drawing, we just use 0.3 speed line length, then join the curve. So let's do the curve for the bottom part, 0.3. Good. So from this center line, using our explanation, our reference, so now to get this other part here, so what we do is the total length is 3.4 cm. All right. So now to get this part from the center line, we'll divide this 3.4 into 2. So 3.4 divided by 2 is giving us 1.7. All right. So from this part here, we draw 1.7 upwards, 1.7 downwards. Then we join it together. So from the center line, Draw that. But for us to get this mark, that is this space from the length from this arm to this other part here, the length is 0.3 cm. So at this center line, we'll mark 0.3. So that's where we draw this part. Alright. So let's do that. Let's do that first. So we'll mark 0.3 here to the left and to the right. Then also do same thing here and here. Good. So we draw the line of 1.7 cm upwards, 1.7 cm downwards. Then we join them. Good. So after getting this part, then assemble each component. Alright. So we're starting first with the bush. We've drawn the base and everything. Okay, just to draw the curve in this part here. So after drawing the curve, take note. This bush, the total length at this side here is 2.6. And from here to here is 1.6 cm. And here is 0.4. So 1.6 plus 0.4, the total length is 2, 2 cm in length. Alright, that's 2 cm in length. Then from here is 2.6. So 2.6 for so this our hidden detail line shows that this bush has to pass through this line here. Alright, and the length from this, that's the length, the height rather. Okay, let me use the height. The height is 1.8 cm. And from here to here, to get the height of this, remember this is the front elevation of the bush and this is the end elevation looking towards this part here. So from this top here represents this, which is from here to here 2.6. Then this other one presents this line here, and this line, the arrow is this, which is 1.8 cm. So that means this is actually 1.8. And take note now, there's a hole inside this bush. That's why you're having this hidden detail line. So that means something has to pass through this hole. We'll also come to that. So the line, that's the height of this hole, is this arrow, which is 12, 1.2 cm. So now let's insert this bush inside this place here. So once you insert it, it will stop at here. Alright, so to stop here, so now to go in by 1.6. So here is 1.6, that's from here to here, 1.6. And now this total length here is giving us from here to here is 1, then this projection is 0.2, 0.3, which is in total 0.6 plus 10, 10 point, 1.6 cm. So that's 1 cm, 1.1 cm plus 0.6 is giving us 1.6 cm, which is same with this. So that means we have to draw this in here. So now how do we get the height, the total height? So that's why we always have this center line. So from the center line, once we divide 1.6 and 18, which is 1.8 divided by 2, 18 divided by 2 is giving us 9, so which is 0.9 cm. So now we draw 0.9 upwards, 0.9 downwards. So we get the bush, then we get the height of this bush. So now we draw the bush. Using this explanation, I will have to draw for this left and the right side. So take note of that. So just watch as I take you through the process. So from this center here, we mark 1.8 up, 0.9 up, 0.9 down to give us 1.8. Here now be 1.3 up, 1.3 down. So let's mark 1.3 up, 1.3 down. Good. So this is it. So we'll mark 0.4 here. Here is 0.4. Good. So after that, do same thing here. Good. We inserted the bush in here, which is what we have done. So after doing the bush, the next thing we are going to insert, according to the question, is the pulley in between the two arms. So this pulley is going to be in between here. So the height of the pulley is 4 cm. Then there's a projection, there's a curve here. So from this curve, it's giving us that's from this part here to this part is 0.3 length. So they have to draw this curve. This curve also keeps 0.3 cm mark. We will draw the curve. Alright. So our system is 4 cm. From the center line upwards is 2 cm. From center line downwards is 2 cm. So that's how we get total length of 4. But take note, you have to keep this 0.3 mark here. So let's draw that. So from this 0.3 mark, once it's kept, 0.3 minus 2 cm is giving us 1.7. So that means 1.7 up, 1.7 down. So let's do that. Good. So we've inserted the pulley in between the two arms. Alright. So after inserting the pulley, we also told to and after inserting the pulley, and it is held in position by the bolt part 4. So this pulley now, what is going to hold this pulley is going to be the bolt, which is this. So now this bolt has to pass through where? That's why you have this hole, this hidden detail line, which represents the hole inside this bush. So that's where the bolt will pass through. Now remember that the height of the hole is 12 and 1.2 cm. Remember. So now the height of this bolt, that's this mouth here where it passes through is also 12. Alright, look at it here, it's also 12. So we have to draw that. Now to draw that using the center line, 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we take 0.6 cm up, 0.6 cm down. And our total length is 9.4. That from here to this part here is 9.4. And now this other head is 1 cm length. So in total we're having 10.4. And now 10.4, if you measure from, okay, let's first measure 9.4. 9.4 is giving us somewhere here. This is 9.4. Okay, that's from here, this part here. 9.4 is giving us here. Take note of that. So now the head has to be 1 cm here, which is 2 cm in height. So now let's first mark the 0.6 up and down. 6. So now we have to draw the bolt. The bolt will be 9.4 in length. That's from this part here. Take note, sorry. They also said that the bolt will be inserted in, but now the bolt is fitted into the hole of the arm from right to left. and held the position by the knot part 5. So the bolt will fit in from the right here to the left. That means the head of the bolt will be at the right part here. So our 9.4 will start from this head of the bush. So let's draw our 9.4 from here. Good. So this is it. Then for the head is 2 cm in length. So take one up, one down. That's 1 cm up, 1 cm down. Then the width is 1 cm, 1 cm. Not the head. So this is the head of the bush. So now the bush, there's a small curve here, and that curve is not indicated, but we can use 0.3. Let's see how 0.3 works. So we'll just mark from this edge of 9.4, we'll mark 0.3 in, 0.3 in. So that will be the end. Then also mark 0.3 down, down, join, join. Just watch what I'll do. So this is 9.4 here. I think 0.3 is much. So let's use 0.2. 0.2 should be here. Good. So 0.2 should be. So this should be it. And this is not useful actually. We'll draw this head here. Good. So this corresponds with this. Alright. So that's for that. Then take note, after drawing the head, they said it is held in position by the knot part 5. So this knot is going to hold the head here. So this is the front elevation of the knot, and this is the end. Alright. This is the end that's looking at the surface part here. So this front elevation is having 1.2 cm in width, and for height we are having 2.8. So it's 2.8. So when we divide by 2, it's 1.4 up, 1.4 down. So let's do that. 1.4 up, 1.4 down. Then for the length, we're having 1.2. So let's do that. Good. So this is going to be for the knot. So now take note that the knot has some curve here. It has some curves. This part here is a curve. This part is a curve. So how do we get the curve now? So we can choose to use our French curve to draw the curve from here to here. So let's do that. Okay, so this is the curve. Take note that the curve actually represents the knot. You know that a knot is always, this is how it looks. A knot is always like this in six. It has 6 sides, which is a hexagon in hexagonal shape. So that's for the knot. So now we've assembled each part, or we've assembled all the parts. This is first the pulley bracket. which is this. So after the pulley bracket, we then have the bush, which is this here and here. After the bush, we then have the pulley, which is this. After the pulley, we have the bolts in, which is this bolt, and then the knot. So now what is next? To draw the section part. That's why it's called the sectional front elevation. So now let's draw the section and let's take note of the part that will be sectioned. But before then, let's draw this curve that's meant to be here. So this is the curve. Let me make this part a bit thick. Good. So this is the curve is not actually meant to touch this edge, but I just did that. Before we dig deep into the section part now, before we start sectioning, take note that this block here is the front elevation. Okay, now also take note that we are to section it. So we are not just drawing the front elevation, but we are drawing the sectional part. Remember, that's what the question says. So for the sectional parts, the block we from the question, we were shown that this part here, that this arm runs to the center line, this center line here. But take note that this is the front elevation, but now we are asked to draw the sectional front elevation. So this arm will not be shown. Not only the arm, these other knots will not be shown. That's this other part of the knot here will not be shown. And take note that these other parts here, there are some parts that won't be shown too. Like this part here, it won't be shown because this is the front elevation. But we have to draw the sectional part. Take note that section involves cutting it into two. So once we cut it into two, it is the inner part we're seeing, not the outer part here. Because the arrow is pointing towards the right. So we are seeing the inner part of this right surface. Take note of that. So once it is being sectioned, it is going to look like this. This is how it looks from the end elevation for us to understand it better. So once it's been sectioned, we're looking towards the right part. So is this part we are taking here, which would be something like this. So the part that will be sectioned that the knife will pass through is this center part here. So the nuts and the bolts are not going to be sectioned because they are to hold the bolts in position. They are not joined together with these pulley brackets. The only thing that is joined together with the pulley brackets is the pulley and the bush. So these two will also be sectioned along with the pulley brackets, while the nuts and the bolt just hold them together. So those two parts will not be sectioned. Take note of that. Let's remove those parts that won't be shown. So the parts that will be sectioned rather is this base of the pulley bracket, the arm of the pulley bracket, this other part here because it's the down part when it cuts into two. Then the bush, okay, yes, the bush here. Also this part of the arm. Remember the other 0.3 cm projection. This part of the arm. Then the bush here and the pulley. Also this bush is part of the arm. But this bolt and this nut will not be sectioned because remember, they are not part of the components to be assembled. They are just to hold these components together in position. Understood? So they won't be sectioned. They are just to hold them in position. So that's why they are not sectioned. They are just in the middle part of the that's the passing through the bush and the pulley in the middle part. So the section line are using our angle 45-degree set square. We're going to use to draw the section line, but we'll not draw throughout one direction. We have to differentiate it so we know which part is which part. So just watch as I take you through the sectioning. But a video about sectioning is also in the description box below. So do want to check a video to learn about section in detail. So let's start the section. Good. So this is the section. We are done. We've sectioned the pulley brackets. As you can see, the lines are different, so you can be able to differentiate it. Then this is for the bush here and here, and this is the pulley. These are the parts that to be sectioned. So we are done with sectioning, and next part is the plan of the pulley brackets. We are going to draw the plan in the next video. So do well to watch that in the next video. And I know you have learned a lot from this video regarding the front sectional front elevation of the pulley brackets and other things too. So do well to give the video a like, click on the like button to make the video recommended to others. Also share to those whom you know will be interested in watching this video. And if you have any questions, do well to comment in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye guys.